looks like One Piece is saving Netflix. If you haven't seen the news, there was a recent report from Netflix to their board of directors about their stocks and just the overall performance this quarter, where they added 9 million subscribers, and they attributed this record-breaking performance to One Piece, their original property that they purchased the rights to, and they said it drew in so much customers for the period it was released that they're attributing the success of their growth to One Piece and a couple other TV shows as well, including Suits, but they attribute this most to One Piece. And this shows the overall strength and draw of One Piece. It's bringing in new subscribers, it's attracting new people to stay on Netflix and watch the show. And the fact that they mentioned One Piece as the centerpiece that is drawing in new customers and new subscribers, this shows the confidence that Netflix has in the overall production and just what the final product of One Piece was during this quarterly period when they were suffering a writers and actors strike at the time, and they had to really focus on the properties that are already on Netflix and what can draw the attention of the customer base. And it seems like One Piece was the biggest draw for them during that quarterly period, and it makes sense that this is kind of something they promoted to at least investors during their earnings report, their quarterly earnings report, and it is showing how much their confidence is building in this overall series that they're focused on. And I just love seeing these headlines that are coming out where Netflix is really attributing most of the praise to this show, and it is giving us the overall vibe that Netflix numbers on this show is overly more positive than what they're revealing. And of course, we saw some of this tracking online with people suggesting that this may be something that they'll invest more money in. And I think this is something anyone that is a fan of One Piece loves to hear, because we want to see One Piece at its best. And the next few seasons are going to include a lot of CGI tricks with Devil Fruit Power users. And of course, with Chopper, Tony Chopper, his development as a character and part of the Straw Hat Luffy crew. Everyone's looking forward to see him at his best, whether that's CGI or puppetry. So just having this extra money to invest in One Piece, and for Netflix to see it as like a standing property that symbolizes what will be Netflix in the future and how this looks towards investors, this is a positive outcome for the overall progress of this show. And I'm really looking forward to what they can bring to the table, at least in the next few seasons, because if they have the full support of Netflix, we're looking at seeing some of the best scenes that we want to see in all their glory. And I'm talking about seeing Skypiea, at least people seeing that in a visual splendor that it may look like if it's done right through television, and exploring that world in a long form basis. That's something everyone would look forward to. And of course, I mentioned before Tony Chopper and how he is envisioned as a lot of people want to see the CGI version, and if that's possible, it may happen with a bigger budget. But of course, I don't think that may be the main course they take with it. But whatever method they take with Chopper, they're gonna need money for it. And I think just having the positive outlook that Netflix has on One Piece, we're gonna have a good chance of seeing Tony Chopper at his best. So I'm looking forward to that, and just seeing this success being attributed to One Piece, it gives us more of an idea how big this franchise will be in the future. I think Netflix sees this as their own Harry Potter, and we keep seeing associations with Harry Potter whenever One Piece is mentioned, at least in these business journals. And it seems like this is a case where we're hearing about multiple seasons from the director and showrunners, where they're always mentioning there's going to be more than 12 seasons. And we recently heard from HBO where they're developing over 10 seasons of the Harry Potter show that they're planning to span the next decade. So I see this as a direct competition to HBO's format of releasing a Harry Potter series, and it seems like Netflix has that on the forefront of their mind with the development of One Piece. And if that is the case, we can expect more investment in One Piece, and if that is the overall outcome, we're gonna see a version of One Piece that is delivering all the sights and sounds that we have seen in the animation and manga, and in ways that we only could dream of. So overall, this is a positive thing. I think we're gonna see the best of One Piece because of this, and I'm hoping that this ends up up being something amazing. Of course, we have Ichiro Oda. He's going to still be in control of the franchise itself. So it seems like all the pieces to have a successful version of One Piece, it is in place. We just have to hope that no one messes up, and I think that is the problem here. We just hope that no one on the American side messes up. I think Ichiro Oda will be just fine. Maybe he won't finish One Piece as fast as he can if he has to focus on the series, but I think that's a okay thing to do. We saw George R.R. Martin do it. I know he hasn't finished Game of Thrones yet, and it has led to people having some frustration with the ending of that series, but I think it's okay to have some differences in the overall endings of the series, specifically the TV version. And I just hope we get a TV version ending that is satisfying, and maybe if this lasts for 10 years, the show, maybe we'll get the end of One Piece, because One Piece has thousands of chapters. It seems like we just started the end arc, at least according to Ichiro Oda, so we'll see maybe in 10 years that end arc will end while the show is ending as well. So that has a good timing there, where we might get to see the real actual ending of One Piece through the TV show at the same time as the manga and anime. So that is an interesting fact in and of itself. But let me read some of this and I'll give you my thoughts about what is happening with Netflix and overall why they attribute One Piece as bringing in 9 million subscribers. Netflix adds 9 million subscribers in third quarter despite Hollywood strikes. Netflix added 9 million subscribers during the third quarter. The Los Gatos, California streaming video giant, said Wednesday, citing popular original shows and older licensed content, as well as the company's crackdown on password sharing. So yeah, they're bringing in a lot of money. I think for the most part, it's probably the original series and the password crackdown, which is drawing more subscribers. And I think a combination of the two, just having a great original series like One Piece and the fact that you can't use password sharing, that's going to make you actually purchase a subscription. So that's where I say this, I attribute this to One Piece, this overall growth. Of course, some licensed content, and everyone knows Suits is popular now on Netflix, so that is drawing a lot more people as well. Revenue was $8.5 billion in the quarter, up 8% from the same period last year, which was in line with analysts' estimates. And there we go. And this all happened during the strike. People were predicting a sort of a slight drop in the overall revenue for Netflix, but things just went up, I think, for the most part, because they had a whole host of shows already saved and ready to be released. Of course, Netflix anticipated the strike, so they were ready for it. Let's read on. During the third quarter, Netflix launched programs including the live-action version of the popular manga One Piece. It also came out with a few other shows like Heartstopper, Love is Blind, and those ranked okay. Really, One Piece and Suits were the dominant programs that actually spanned weeks where they were number one. Heartstopper, not so much. Love is Blind, not so much. Those seasons just dangled and didn't really chart to number one. So this just shows the overall growth that Netflix is getting based on I think their original properties. But you tell me, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think this is going to spark more investment for One Piece on Netflix? I think it will. I think the budget will grow, more episodes, and I'm thinking hopefully we get the perfect version of Tony Chopper and get to see Skypiea in all of its glory. But I'd like to hear your comments. Tell me what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. This is Wagner Knows Why. Catch you next time.